Let's get in an industry perspective now. Colin Shah, Vice Chairman at Gemson Jewellery, Export Promotion Council, now joins us on the phone line. Mr. Colin, thank you so much indeed for joining us. My colleague was just referring to how there is a certain sense of nervousness in the industry. Funding options are drying up, banks are increasing scrutiny. What's going on?
Banks are increasing their scrutiny. That's happening for sure. It's a pity this has happened. GJEPC is 50 years old. We have 6,000 members. In those 6,000 members, 2,500 are exporters. And while this incident has happened, these are 2 out of 2,500. So we really hope this is not a reflection on the industry at large. But I'm sure in the short term, bankers are going to scrutinize, everyone with a magnifying glass. So SMEs continue to struggle for finance. And I mean, this incident has happened. But to be honest with you, this incident is also a large lapse on the part of, this particular bank, Punjab National Bank. And this is in no way a reflection on the industry at large. This is 2 particular players, 1 bank, a scam in that sense has happened, but it's not the industry at large.
Mr. Shah, in particular, are financiers becoming are not doing LOU-based financing anymore? Are they looking at direct credit lines instead? Can you give us a sense of that instrument? Because I believe it was quite prevalent and widely used in the jewelry industry. No,
this actually is a misnomer, and let me be the first one to correct you. Diamond imports has been happening in this country for nearly 50 years. And as you know, 14 out of 15 diamonds are cut and polished in India. LOU is actually not used as an instrument at all by the industry. This is a super rare instance of 2 companies doing this with Punjab National Bank. So even if the LOU instrument is, say, discontinued, it will have no impact on the industry because nobody was using it, and we as GJEPC have not only, been in touch with the government about this, we've been in touch with the bankers also. So it's a little mind-boggling even for us as to why this instrument was used in the first place in this particular case.
Okay.
So it's not used prevalently. I mean, let me clarify this very clearly.
But sir, I mean, in the initial phases, this was an instrument used widely by capital goods companies. And then I think, regulations were changed, etc. And then...
Yeah, diamond bank merchants never use this, so...
Are you sure that's true, sir?
Yeah, I'm absolutely sure.
Okay.
Okay. While I understand, Mr. Shah, that this is not an industry-wide issue, we've seen the Winsome case and now the Nirav Modi case. What's the mood in the industry, and is there conversations on self-regulation? Give us a sense of what's going on.
See, the mood in the industry is grim. Since 50 years. Okay, this is probably like say the darkest week, I would say, if I can say so, in the industry's history, where even if you walk on the roads or anywhere and you say you're a jeweler, they're looking at you as if you're some kind of thief who has cheated the country, which is absolutely not the truth. It's these 2 people who have done this. I wouldn't say it's the industry at large. I can only assure everyone that it's a very ethical industry. On the contrary, like just to give you broad level numbers, our exports are 1 lakh crores. The total debt of the industry is 40-50,000 crores, at last count. And out of that, you have this huge number. So if you look at, say, the remaining 2,500 of us, we don't use that kind of finance in proportion to our exports. So, it's actually contrarian, but now this incident has happened, and I guess, our generation will have to bear the brunt of it.
Mr. Shah, so, I guess the impact immediately will fall more on the SMEs, as you were mentioning. The larger guys probably have some cash sustainability, probably have other means that they can use. Is there any hand-holding that can be done for the SME sector? I mean, I'm not sure who will do it because the government and the RBI will probably not be in a position or willing to make concessions for the industry at this stage.
Hand-holding will happen, but we as Gemson Jewellery Export Promotion Council, we are making our best efforts to meet bankers, meet the, concerned officials in the government, do our best to, calm everyone's nerves that let's look at the business. It's fundamentally strong. It still makes profits. They repay their debts back, and good promoters should continue to get money.
Okay.
So that's all that we can do, I guess, at this point. I think time is a healer. So.
Okay. Mr. Shah, there's another issue that has cropped up, which is getting attention, although no explanation. I think the Economic Times has reported this, and since then, chatter around it has been fairly loud. The fact that imports of cut or polished diamonds in the current financial year have surged almost fourfold. Can you help us understand why that would have happened, sir?
Yeah, so I can, again, I can very clearly say over here that this is very incorrect reporting, to say the least. The import figures actually are down 15% compared to last year. At exact count, we are $1.5 billion. So it's actually a decline of 15% compared to the same period, April to November last year. What it shows is, and why there was a discrepancy in the number, is goods which go on consignment. Where we all do exhibitions globally. And when we send goods on consignment abroad, and then they come back, in a period of between 1 month to 3 months. So those particular imports which came back last year have had an impact on the number, but it is not to the extent which has been reported. Imports of cut and polished diamonds are actually down 15%. So even we,
Sir, and I assume that these trade kind of shows happen regularly. Is there a reason that last year would have been more than this year? And this is official data.
No, but I can, give you government data actually on this. This was an error. I think it's just, I guess the entire frenzy of the last 2 weeks and, all kinds of things being reported on the industry. I mean, this data, imports are actually 15% down, which I'm happy to, share with you.
Okay.
It's government import data, so it's not like, data made by us or anything of that sort.
Okay. What's been the near-term impact both on demand and volumes, export volumes, I mean, in the last couple of weeks?
In the last couple of weeks, there's been no impact on demand. Actually, markets are healthier, and that's why this has come as a bit of a shock to all of us in the industry. Markets have been healthier in 2018 than 17. Our major consumer markets are, as you know, it's the US and then China, followed by Europe, Japan, and the Gulf region. And most of the large economies in the world are actually, doing phenomenally well. So in US, you have the Dow at all-time high, you have an unemployment at all-time low. With the tax cuts over there, the mood is good. So actually, for the diamonds and jewelry industry, the jewelry industry at large, 2018 will be a nice growth year. So this is just a blip, I would say, on the macro level business scenario. I mean, obviously, sentiment in India is very low, and I guess, but I don't see this as having an impact on the demands for gems and jewelry.
All right, Mr. Shah, we'll leave it there. That's the industry perspective on this whole story playing out, the impact on the gems and jewelry sector. Mr. Shah believes it's largely a sentiment impact.